Love and fear, as revealed to God's messenger, Marshall Vian Summers, on April 11th, 2001, in Boulder, Colorado. At this point, it is important to address the reality of love and fear. The greater darkness upon the world can incite tremendous fear, particularly as you learn what it really is and how it is functioning in the world, with very little human awareness or resistance. Some people will think that they cannot accept the new message because it seems fearful, because they think that it does not come from a place of love. But it absolutely comes from a place of love. For God loves humanity and does not want to see you lose your freedom and become enslaved by other forces in the greater community. Here you must remember that the physical universe in which you live is not your ancient home. It is a relative reality because it is a reality that is changing constantly. God watches over the physical universe, but God rarely intervenes directly except to deliver essential messages such as the one that is being presented here. People are very confused about this issue of reality. Some people think that spiritual reality and physical reality are the same, and they try to apply their spiritual understanding to the physical world. Others think that there is no spiritual reality, that there is only the world. However, neither of these evaluations is correct. In physical life, there is competition in nature. This is part of nature. This is the natural world you live in. This competition exists throughout the greater community as well. In the greater community, there are races that are spiritually advanced and aware, and there are many races that are not. Some are technologically advanced and some are not. There are powerful commercial forces in this part of the galaxy in which you live. They seek to take advantage of new biological and mineral discoveries. They seek to take advantage of emerging worlds such as your own. They are not spiritually advanced, or they would not be behaving in such a self-serving way. These forces are living in a relative reality, as are you. But this is your reality only while you are in the world. You are here in the world ultimately to make a contribution to this reality, to help the well-being and the spiritual development of people everywhere. It is no different in the greater community. There are forces that speak for the good, and there are forces that work against it. There are no neutral forces in the universe. Everyone is either helping or hindering this great redemption, this great process of renewing and reinvigorating spiritual reality. Or said in other words, everyone is either helping or hindering the return to the Creator. It is necessary to speak in very large terms here because you need to see things in this way, for this will bring great clarity to your understanding. This will enable you to recognize the forces that support humanity's freedom and those that oppose it. Fear serves only one beneficial purpose, and that is to alert you to the presence of danger. This kind of fear is part of your natural makeup. It is there to protect your well-being and to give you an awareness of those elements in your natural environment, the physical world, that could threaten this well-being. Yet most of the fear that plagues people is the product of their imagination. It is something that they create for themselves. It is not grounded in reality. Though you can see evidence of terrible things in your physical reality, the fears that drive people are largely the product of their imagination. These are purely destructive fears. Love is the emanation of knowledge within you, knowledge being your spiritual reality and intelligence. But even the manifestations of love may not always seem to be kind, gentle, or reassuring, for love sometimes must challenge you. Love sometimes must correct you, and love sometimes must redirect your actions. People have a very romantic view of love, but this is not really what love is. If you could see that the Creator is being loving by alerting you to the realities of the intervention, and by attempting to prepare you for your future in the greater community, you would see this expression of love very clearly. Then you would not have a conflict regarding love and fear. You would see the fear that disables you, the fear that weakens you, the fear that tells you that you are pathetic and cannot really establish a position of power and responsibility in the world. Love brings out fear. It reveals fear. It transforms fear. When people become aware of the greater darkness in the world, their first reaction may be fear. Part of this fear is their natural fear, being aware of danger. But much of this fear will be their imagination and what they think it means, and this fear will disable them. While your natural fear is cautionary, your imaginary fear is purely destructive. Reality will bring out this destructive fear. What will replace this fear is a kind of love that is aware, that is present, and that is responsible. It is not the kind of love that makes you feel passive and reassured. That is not really what love is. Love is not thinking that everything is going to be fine and that God is taking care of everything. Indeed, God has sent you here to take care of everything. Love is a position of self-acceptance, responsibility, cooperation, and contribution. That is love. It is clear. It is sober. And it is able to face whatever life brings across its path. Love treats every difficulty as an opportunity. It does not deny the realities of life. It does not seek to gain personal advantage by denying reality. It does not seek to put a happy face on every event of life. This is love. This is God's love. Some people believe that God's love is like an aphrodisiac. They think that it will make you forget everything else and put you into some kind of ecstatic state. The only real ecstasy is to be grounded in God's love, because this gives you all the inner security you could ever need. But it also gives you the responsibility to contribute to a world in need. Here there is no confusion between physical life and your ancient home. Here you are grounded spiritually, but are learning to be effective in the natural world. Here you will see that God's new message is an unparalleled gift. Here you will see that the intervention, though grave and serious and unlike anything humanity has ever faced before, can in itself give humanity the foundation to unite itself on its own behalf. In the greater community, the physical universe in which you live, the strong will dominate the weak if they can. This is a reality of life in the physical realm. You see this in nature all around you. The evolution of species and the competition for environment are fundamental to the natural world you live in. To be in denial of this is to deny the natural world, the reality of your body, and the reality of your being in the world. Yet there are many people in the world today who deny this reality because they are afraid. As a result, they cannot see that the physical world and the heavenly state are two entirely different realities. Each must be responded to differently. The spiritual reality lives within you, in your knowledge. This is the reality that the Creator has given you. You have it already. This is the source of real love, compassion, and contribution. Knowledge within you does not seek escape. It does not try to deceive itself into thinking that everything is wonderful. It does not claim that God is taking care of everything for you, as if you were a helpless child. Knowledge within you is here on a mission. It is here to contribute. It is here to face the world as it is and to contribute to it and to improve it so that the possibilities for greater spiritual awareness may be cultivated here. In the greater community into which you are emerging, technologically advanced races are rarely spiritually advanced. Those who seek to explore and to exploit other nations are not the spiritually advanced. You can understand this. It is no different in the greater community than it is here in your world. The question is whether you can accept it. Love will always encourage you to face reality and to meet its challenges and its opportunities. Fear will always take you away from reality because you are afraid for yourself. Afraid your ideas may be wrong, afraid your security may be challenged, afraid that you will not know what to do, afraid that you will be helpless, afraid that you will be dominated, and afraid that you will fail. Love will take you to meet these challenges. Fear will take you away. Love will face the intervention. Fear will deny it. Love will receive the new message from God. Fear will dispute it. God must give you this real understanding of love and fear, or you will become very confused. Fear is always the basis of preference in these matters. You deny reality because you want something else. Perhaps you don't want your personal goals to be upset by the realities of life, and so you will deny those realities. Perhaps you want the universe to be a place full of enlightened beings so that you won't have to be challenged. Already the intervention that is in the world is preying upon these preferences and these fears, encouraging people to think that the intervention is here for their good, if people are aware of it at all. There are people in the world today who are driven by fear. and they will naturally be receptive to such persuasion, for their own personal advantage, of course. Who in the world really wants an intervention? Most people do not want an intervention, but an intervention is what is happening. It is a reality of life. If you can face it, then love will become stronger. If you deny it, then fear will become stronger. God can only speak to that part of you that is capable of real love. The intervention can only speak to that part of you that is already afraid. It is possible that those who are intervening in the world can be redeemed through knowledge, but that is God's work and not yours. Your work here now is to preserve human freedom and to establish yourselves in the universe as a free and independent race. If you fail, then all that humanity has accomplished will be lost. All of the teaching, all of the true spiritual understanding, all of the art, all of the culture, all of your advancements can be lost. Impossible, you say? Well, think of all the human civilizations that have disappeared from your world. All that they established is lost, leaving only a few traces. You have the possibility now to establish a greater foundation for humanity, a greater community understanding and awareness, a real unity and cooperation based upon real need and necessity. If you shrink from this, then you are following fear. If you shrink from this, then you are serving the intervention, either knowingly or unknowingly. Establishing this foundation is a great challenge. The problem is not that the truth is difficult to comprehend. The problem is, do people really want it? It is not that life is too difficult. The question is, can people face it, rise above it, and use it to gain greater maturity, greater equanimity, and greater power? The gift of God's new message is pure. Can it be purely received? That is the real question. The intervention itself is a gift, in that it can unite humanity in its own defense. Yet it is only a gift if you can receive the new message from God, because you cannot prepare yourself for the intervention. From your vantage point, you cannot understand what life is like beyond your borders, what has prompted the intervention, how it is functioning, or the nature and organization of those who are generating it. For this, you need a greater awareness. You need a new message from God. Therefore, come to realize what love really is within you. Love affirms your strength, your integrity, your responsibility, your honor, your courage, and your contribution to others. It encourages selfless participation in the world. Love is the essence of your strength. It is not sentimental. It is not like the ridiculous romantic images that people have generated to describe it. It is not a source of personal avoidance or irresponsibility. What is fear? Fear is the belief that you are powerless and that you can do nothing. Fear is what prompts you to give yourself to your preferences and to your compulsions. Fear is what keeps you weak. Fear keeps you from responding to the real needs of the world and disables you from doing what you know you have to do for yourself. Fear prevents you from serving others in a real and genuine way. Both love and fear are pervasive within your world, but people are still confused. The intervention will speak to your fear. God's new message will speak to your love. Yet in order for you to see this, you must deeply consider these things. You must face the great challenge of your time and be willing to see the relevance of the answer that God has given. Being in the world, by its very nature, is a compromised state of awareness. Your personal self wants to survive. It is afraid of death and does not want to suffer. And yet you cannot destroy what God has created within you. You can lose sight of it. You can avoid it. You can deny it. You can believe it does not exist. But it is still real within you. It is permanent. It cannot be destroyed. It can only be rejected. And now it is being called for as never before. When you begin to recognize that there is a greater darkness in the world, when you see that this can take from you everything that you have and everything that humanity has gained and developed throughout its entire history, you will begin to really understand what you are facing. Perhaps you lose faith in yourself, thinking, what can I possibly do? It's already too late. It is not too late. If it were too late, God would not give a new message to the world. It would be over. However, it is not over, except perhaps in your imagination. It is just beginning. The intervention is the greatest challenge that humanity has ever faced. Yet it can give humanity its greatest opportunity to become strong and united. No one in the world will have any advantage facing the intervention alone. Even those individuals who are recruited to serve the intervention will have no real advantage here. It is only by meeting a greater challenge in life that humanity can override and surmount its long-standing conflicts. This challenge is not momentary. It will be ongoing, for you live in a beautiful world that is greatly valued by others. You live in a world that is rich in mineral and biological resources, a gem in the universe. Such places are far more rare than you may realize. Other nations in the universe that have outstripped their world's resources must now trade and barter for what they need. They must seek and explore for what they need. You are living on what is considered by others to be a paradise island in the universe. Yet you do not know what you have, and you are ruining it. Only a real greater community awareness will change this. With this awareness, you would not squander such a place. You would not ruin the world if you realized what is really at stake here. Many people think the universe is just a big empty place that humanity will go out and colonize for its own benefit. Be assured that is not the case. The situation has become very grave. However, humanity has the power to stop the intervention. To do this, it must gain a greater cooperation. To do this, enough people must respond. This response must be born of love and not of fear. Serving the real needs of humanity, even in the face of great danger, is an act of profound love and selflessness. Let this be your understanding. Even the Creator is concerned that humanity may fail. This concern is born of love. As a parent is concerned for the well-being of his or her child, this concern is born of love. Do not repudiate this concern, thinking that it is negative or that it is unjustified. Indeed, the new message from God affirms that behind all of the manifestations of life in the physical universe, there is the great love and compassion of the Creator for what has been created. You cannot fully understand God's great love at the outset, for gaining this understanding represents a journey with many steps. You must begin from where you are. Here you are saved from your own personal predicament because God has given you a greater problem to address and a greater set of needs to meet within the world. Here you are saved from your hopeless attempt to fulfill yourself alone by being given something that can truly serve the world. There is no fulfillment in personal fulfillment. If you seek happiness only, you will compromise yourself and you will follow fear. You will deny reality and you will turn away from the great needs of the world that are calling for you. Even the great needs that you are meant to serve, that you are sent here to serve, you will deny in order to try to fulfill your own agenda. You may try to fulfill what you think you want, but your heart will only be fulfilled by doing what you came here to do.